Today, we are on one of the best topics, top trending topics of this century right now. LeBron James. Hope you're seeing this, brother. I really do. I do want to thank you for bringing your talents down to South Beach in my early childhood days, bringing us 2 rings. I appreciate it. I need a third one, my brother. We welcome you back to Miami. Nigga, it's like the Twin Towers, bro. Imagine adding LeBron James. They ain't got no point guard. So, nigga, they just need a Mario Thomas, bro. That's all they need. They don't need no superstar at the point guard position. Like, they already have LeBron. You feel me? They already have LeBron. Fuck, they just need a shooter, a Klay Thompson. Tim Hardaway. I think he already there anyways. But you feel me? That's just... Guys, that's just my own opinion. You guys can take it as you want, but I feel like he really deserves to be in Miami, and we will definitely take care of him. I'm not gonna say it's a dream come true, because I feel like it's something that can come to reality. Bronny, we got a spot for you in Miami. You feel me? We're right there. You gonna start. Make him the point guard. I think that's what's taking too long, bro. They trying to finalize the deal because nobody want to get Bronny, bro. Miami, Eric Spoelstra, bro. I'm going to give you a call, bro, if I have to, my nigga. Like, we got to get this shit going, bro. We need Bronny. We need LeBron James in Miami. Pronto. Send that bag, bro. Spin that shit.
Bucks have been listening and engaged with interested teams. Look at teams like Miami, Golden State, New York, and Minnesota as the most serious suitors.
Breaking news from the NBA: Giannis Antetokounmpo is
Antetokounmpo!
Beach.
It is Giannis and Bobby Portis to the
Yeah.
It's official, man. Giannis, South Beach Greek free.
13 months. That's how long the rest of the league waited on this one trade. 13 months of rumors, denials, and reports that went nowhere. And then in a single night, it was real. Giannis Antetokounmpo was headed to Miami. And the second it hit, the basketball world split down the middle. Half of it said Miami just jumped back into title.
Bro, this shit's so generational, my nigga. We have Giannis, bro.
Title contention. The other half said Pat Riley just handed away the next decade for a player who could walk in a year. So which side is right? How much did one offseason actually change the future of the Miami Heat? Because this is the biggest swing in franchise
And we
history.
got Wiggins,
The last 2 times Miami made a bet this big, it landed Shaq in 2004 and LeBron and Bosh in 2010. Both ended up in championships. That's the company this trade is keeping.
Pat Riley has landed his white whale. We know his history. Shaquille O'Neal,
Alonzo Mourning,
LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Jimmy Butler,
so
and now Giannis is walking into Miami.
Bro.
But before we get
I'm thinking they picked them up in 2011, bro. No, that was 2010. Oh, yeah, I remember that cover.
into any of it, one thing has to be said. This isn't a done deal. Giannis can't even sign
Bro,
an
this shit
extension
is
until January, so he
generational, my
hasn't
nigga.
locked himself
LeBron,
into Miami
lock
long-term
in,
yet.
bro.
And at the same time, LeBron James is sitting in free agency with Miami's name attached to him. So as wild as
But, Pat, bro, give that nigga his cookies back, bro. I don't like you eating my nigga cookies on the plane, bro. Pat, we really got real beef at this point. Because when I heard that's the reason why he left the Heat in the first place over some fucking cookies, my nigga, it's crazy, bro.
this summer is already, it is.
That's beyond selfish, nigga. Yo, superstar, nigga, that's making you money, nigga.
And everything Miami did only
crazy.
makes sense once you understand that. To see
Bro.
why Miami
That shit pissed me off and it still do. I'm pausing this and this shit ain't even start yet.
Went this far, you have to
My
go
bad,
back
my
to the
bad.
night
I'm
the
done.
old version of this team died. 3 years ago they were in the finals. They hadn't missed the playoffs since 2019. Spoelstra is still one of the best coaches alive, and heat culture, whether you buy it or roll your eyes at it, is still a real thing inside that building. The problem wasn't that Miami was bad, it was that Miami was stuck. 4 straight years in the play-in,
Yeah.
4 straight years
They
that
ain't
ended
had no
without ever
guards
looking
for
like a
real,
real
bro.
threat. And at the
They only had
2026
Bam.
trade
Nigga
deadline,
dropping
while
80
every other
points,
team
like-
in the East tried to get better,
What the fuck you got? You see Bam dropping 80 points, my nigga.
Miami did nothing. They were the only team in the conference that didn't make
No.
a single move. So
Woo-hoo. Imagine if he went to the Heat.
the whole season came down to one game. The play-in in Charlotte. Winning they're in, losing the year's over. And it went wrong immediately. Bam Adebayo,
Damn.
their captain, gets tripped by
Oh.
LaMelo Ball.
He ain't do that shit on purpose, y'all. He didn't. He was just, that's just one of those, you hear me? Like, it ain't on purpose.
And limps off with a
I
back
seen that
injury.
shit
No
live,
whistle
bro.
on the floor. The league. None of this was new. For 6 years, Riley went hunting for the fix. He pushed for Kevin Durant, he circled Donovan Mitchell, he made a run at Damian Lillard, he even called on Giannis at the deadline. Every time a star came available, Miami was right there in the room, and every time they walked away empty. Until now. And by February, everyone in the league already knew what Milwaukee's price was going to be.
Will a team hit the Milwaukee Bucks' price threshold that's been indicated to me as a young blue chip talent and or a surplus of draft picks?
So the offseason had one job. Get the star.
Yeah.
Everything else came second. And every
Get the
move
star,
Miami
nigga.
made from here,
That's
it's
all we
judged
worry
against that
about.
one thing. It starts with Giannis, and the case for him is simple. Miami didn't trade for a superstar on the way down. At 31, Giannis just finished the most efficient scoring season of his career, 20.6 a night, on the best true shooting numbers he's ever posted. But the number that actually matters is this one. Last season, Milwaukee was 14 points per 100 possessions better with Giannis on the floor than off of it, the largest swing of his career, and one of the biggest in the entire league. The Bucks only won 32 games because he only played 36. When he was healthy, they were a completely different team. That's what Miami was buying. Not a name, a player who single-handedly turns an average roster into a dangerous one.
Who we talking
So
about,
what
Drew?
did it cost, you ask? Almost everything. Miami sent out 4 rotation players. Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jamie
okay.
Jaquez,
I don't know
and
who that is.
Kaspers
I don't know who
Yakichonis.
that
Then
is.
came the picks. This year's
I don't even
number
know who
13,
Tyler Hero is,
unprotected
so.
first rounders in
We
2031
good.
and
We
2033.
good. We good, right, chat? I don't even know who the rest of the three. I don't even know Tyler. We good, right, chat?
The right to swap firsts in 2030, and a second rounder on top of it. A mountain of draft capital and 2 names that sting the most. That's the same Khalil Ware who was drilling threes trying to save the season in Charlotte. Gone. And Hero, the longest term Heat player on the roster, gone too. Miami wasn't the only team at the table either. Boston was right there, and their offer tells you how high the price really was. The Celtics put Jaylen Brown, a finals MVP, on the table, plus 2 unprotected first round picks.
See,
Milwaukee wanted more than that. Boston
imagine
walked,
though.
Miami did it.
Imagine Brown with Giannis.
The
don't
Celtics
know.
offered Jaylen Brown, the 2024 Finals MVP, and I'm told 2 unprotected first-round draft picks. The Celtics were not willing to part with enough young players and assets to get a deal done.
That's the whole trade in one sentence. Riley pushed further than any team holding a finals MVP was willing to go. So was it worth it? Go back to the flaw. Miami needed a star. They got one of the 5 best players alive, and the fit is real. Spoelstra gets a downhill freight train next to Bam, 2 switchable defenders on the same front line,
Yeah.
on a team that already wanted to run. That's the dream. But
Yeah.
there's another side, and Miami can't pretend there isn't. Giannis is 31 heading into year 14, and the injuries have started piling up. And for all the regular season dominance, the playoff version has gone quiet. He hasn't won a playoff series since 2022, which is exactly why not everyone loved this. The Ringer said flat out, this trade changes everything for Miami.
Nigga, I need to get this one out for real. Niggas would rather have AD over Giannis. Like injury wise, like I would take Giannis over anybody else in the fucking league. Fuck y'all talking about, bro? Y'all niggas is tripping. Who would you take, Gobert or Giannis, nigga? Okay.
Everything. The flaw is gone. Miami finally has its star, and that brought them to the part that actually decides the whole thing. Building around him.
Like them
Landing
two
Giannis was the easy
crazy.
part. What goes around him is the hard part. Because a downhill
I'll take him
superstar who
over
can't
AD
shoot only
anytime.
works if the floor around him is full of people who can. Start with
I
the guy
don't
who
care
came in
if
the
AD
same
can shoot,
trade,
nigga.
Bobby Portis.
I don't care if that nigga AD shoot, bro. That nigga come down off that jump shot, nigga, he's hurt.
Easy to write him off as a throw-in, but that misses it. Portis has spent years next to Giannis. He's a champion, he's one of the better bench bigs in the league, and he plays with exactly the kind of edge Miami has always chased.
Portis
With
is
Ware
nice.
gone and Bam
Portis is
coming
very
off a
nice.
back injury, the Heat had no front
I like
court depth.
Portis.
Portis fixes that day one. He doesn't solve the flaw, he protects the investment. Then the draft. Miami had one pick so it had to count, and they traded up to get Ryan Conwell, a guard out of Louisville.
With the 37th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft,
Man, let me
the Oklahoma
hit
City
Rocky
Thunder
Light, bro. I
select
need to know where
Ryan
LeBron going
Conwell
from.
from the University of Louisville.
Forget the college resume. The only thing that matters is why Miami wanted him. Shooting.
Who's this?
Conwell put up nearly 10 threes a game in college and shot close to 38% from deep for his career. Nobody's asking him to be a star. They're asking him
Just
to
a role
space the
player.
floor so Giannis has room to work.
Yeah.
Early returns have looked real. In his first 3 Summer League games, he scored 3 different ways, including a 26-point night against Golden State. And it wasn't just Conwell. Trevor Keels, a two-way guard who already owns a G League record for the most threes ever made in a game without a miss, dropped 32 in Las Vegas. Neither of them is going to be a star. That's not the point. The point is Miami suddenly has
They got another nice guard, bro. I don't know why they're not showing him.
young guys who can put the ball in the basket, which is exactly what a Giannis
He's
team
nice.
needs around it. He's a second-round rookie, so there will be rough nights for Conwell too. But if Giannis is the engine, guys like Conwell and Keels are exactly the kinds of pieces you build around him. Free agency told the same story. Tim Hardaway Jr. didn't come to Miami to be a star. He came to fix the same problem, shooting. He's coming off one of the best three-point seasons of his career in Denver. He's a hometown kid whose dad's number hangs in the Miami rafters. And he stays healthy, which matters more than it sounds.
Oh my
Because Riley
God.
said out loud this season that
Pass.
games played would be a priority. And Hardaway has topped 70 games 4 years
See?
running. Then
Yeah.
there's the smaller moves, the ones that don't make the headlines. Wiggins locked in on an extension and Fontillo came back on a 1-year deal. Nobody's making a highlight video about these two, and that's exactly the point.
Bucky.
Once Miami had its star, everything else came down to
Yeah, we
fit.
need him.
Shooting, depth, and defense around the guy who needs all three. So did they
And we taking down New York next year. Taking everybody money.
build the right roster? Mostly, but not all the way. And that's where the doubts start, because plenty of serious basketball people looked at this and didn't see a contender. They saw a team that just gave up too much. Richard Jefferson won a title in this league, and now he breaks down the game for ESPN. His first reaction wasn't about the fit, it was about the bill.
On the Miami side, I feel like they've given up so much. They did get a lot, but you have to now build an elite team around Giannis, and you've given away a ton of assets.
Then there's Rich Eisen, one of the most familiar voices in the sport, a guy who's anchored national NBA and NFL coverage for almost 30 years, and who has lived this exact take before. Back in 2020, when everyone wanted Miami to trade for Giannis, Eisen said don't do it, don't give up Hero. Giannis stayed, won a title, and Eisen spent years calling it the worst take he's ever had. Then Miami finally made basically that trade, and instead of taking it back, he doubled down.
Hey,
Gave up too much for him.
They
Hero
got
and
Bobby Portis,
Jaquez.
Who's left to play with? Yeah.
who the fuck is Jaquez? Who the fuck is Giannis? Who the fuck is Kalel? Like, the fuck? I don't know these niggas. That is not too much. Jaquez, like, Giannis, like, fuck.
Miami acquired him, and they're still going to be a play-in team.
And it's not the only analyst saying it. The morning after the trade, former NBA guard Jeff Teague and his crew on the Club 520 podcast landed on the exact same worry.
Bro, Giannis needs shooters around him, bro.
He needs shooting.
So what's the actual concern? Start with what left. In 3 weeks, Miami lost 5 rotational players. Hero, Ware, Jaquez, Yakuchinitz, and Norman Powell.
Yakuchinitz.
And Powell hurt the most
Like,
because he
fuck.
walked to Chicago for 2 years and
Powell is crazy, though. He is nice. He would have been a nice vet to keep on the team, especially for the rookies.
$45 million. And
But I ain't mad, bro. Bring on LeBron. Bring LeBron home, man. That's his home, bro.
Miami got nothing back. An all-star scorer out the door, no return.
Hey.
And what's left to fix it? Almost nothing. After the Hardaway deal, Miami has around $10 million to
Man,
spend.
get to the
And
good
that's
part,
basically the whole
bro.
budget for any move still to come. So here's what they'll still need.
I know you got
versatiles.
some good
Number
shit to
1,
say.
shooting and shot creation, because Hardaway's 34 and Conwell's a rookie. Number 2, a backup
fuck.
big, because behind Bam and Portis, there's basically nothing. And Bam's coming off a back injury. And number 3, a real league guard, someone to run the offense the nights Giannis sits. And all of this points at the same uncomfortable fact. Giannis is a
give me the
career
juicy facts.
28.5% three-point shooter.
What a
That's the
block.
worst mark of any active player who's taken 1,000 of them. No star alive
What a
needs
block,
shooting
Giannis.
around him more. And to
Nah,
get him,
not a
Miami
good block,
traded away
but
hero
you feel me?
shot making, where's spacing at the
Use your
5, and
teammates.
Powell
Ooh.
scoring. They bought the one player on earth who needs spacing the most, and they paid for him with their spacing, which is
Hey.
exactly why
Ooh,
this
Giannis
summer
got
isn't
that in the
over.
bag, though.
Because Miami one more swing,
That's
and
my
the
nigga,
name
man.
everyone's waiting on is the biggest in the sport.
And again, being 42 and still playing at this level is insane.
It's insane.
When you think about what's admirable, having all these people call, and I said this to LeBron, I said,
Oh,
LeBron
okay.
James. For the first time in years, LeBron is a free agent. He told the Lakers he's not coming back, and Miami is right in the middle of it.
I wouldn't.
His own agent, Rich
I'd
Paul,
leave
named
LA
the Heat as
quick
one
as
of the
hell.
teams in play. So how real is the Miami version of this? Real
So
but it's not
fucking
the
quick.
front runner. Shams laid out the Heat pool. Riley Spoelstra playing next to
Tripping.
Bam and Giannis,
What?
and no state income tax in Florida. And Brian Windhorst, ESPN's lead LeBron Porter for 2 decades, framed the whole thing as a 2-team race, saying Cleveland or Miami is the clean makes sense decision, and
Yeah,
anywhere else would
Miami,
be
bro.
harder for LeBron.
Like, come on, bro. You went to Cleveland. I don't see you playing with Harden. I don't see you. I see you playing with them other boys. Spider, you can have fun with Spider. Jared, you can have fun with Jared. But I feel like, I don't know, Jared. He might be that nigga though. He is. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna give it to him.
LeBron to explain. The problem for Heat fans is which of those two it's leaning toward. Windhorst had said the vibes point to a Cleveland homecoming, and other insiders now call the Cavs the clear frontrunner, with Miami running second. But Windhorst had a warning too. Nobody actually knows what LeBron is going to do. This is the guy who back in 2010 gave Wade and Bosch about a 12-hour heads up before the decision. He keeps the circle tiny, so anyone telling you it's done is guessing. There's a cost to Wade too. LeBron loses nothing by
That nigga's face, bro. I remember that play like yesterday. That shit is crazy.
Hill misses. Rebound goes to the Cavs. J.R. Smith brings it back out. Throws it to Hill. Hill shot blocked. And we'll go to overtime. You get the feeling J.R. Smith thought they had the lead. He didn't know the score.
taking his time. Miami loses plenty because
like,
they already spent the
y'all
ball to
niggas
get
don't know
Giannis.
Frank,
Well, a team
bro.
like Cleveland
Oh my
can sit
God.
back with money and spots still
I gotta
open.
do a story
Because
time,
if LeBron
bro.
says no, there's a backup plan. Bradley Beal is on the market. Miami's had early conversations. Nothing serious yet. DeMar DeRozan's name has floated too. None of those move the needle like LeBron, but they answer the same question. Who creates offense when the stars sit? You can already see it happening. While Miami holds a spot open for LeBron, the other names keep signing somewhere else. Chris Middleton, a shooter Miami had interest in and a longtime Giannis teammate, agreed to a deal with Washington and came off the board. Every week LeBron takes, another fallback option disappears. That's the risk of building your summer around a decision that isn't yours to make. Here's what actually matters. Miami built this roster with a hole at guard on purpose. Whether that hole gets filled by the best player of this generation or a fallback option is the whole difference between a real contender and another play-in team. And right now, nobody knows which one it's going to be. Underneath all of it's the scariest question of all. What if Giannis leaves? Because here's the fine print on one of the biggest trades in team history. Giannis can't even sign his extension until January 6th. That's a 4-year, $275 million supermax. And if he doesn't sign it, he's holding a $62.8 million player option he can turn down to become a free agent in 2027. Read that again. Miami emptied the vault, and the player they emptied it for, worst case, can be gone after one season. Bleacher Report said it plainly. If he walks next summer, this move risks being...
Nigga, I'm a millionaire, trillionaire, billionaire, nigga, in Miami. Fuck, this nigga's been in Milwaukee his whole life. This nigga's not leaving. Y'all really think Giannis leaving after one season? Miami?
A disaster because the cupboard would be bare. Nobody gives up this much without private signals he's staying. Everyone knows that, but signals aren't signatures. And until January, this entire franchise is holding its breath. So where does this actually leave Miami? Here's the truth, both halves of it. Giannis hasn't played a single game in a Heat jersey. There's no extension signed. The shooting problem is arguably worse than it was in April. And the LeBron question is still hanging over the whole league. This story is nowhere near finished. But if you want the optimistic read, Richard Jefferson already gave it. He pointed out that LeBron won his first title in Miami in year 2, one in Cleveland in year 2, one in LA in year 2. Stars land, year 1 is the setup, year 2 is the swing.
LeBron James won a championship his second year in Miami, his second year in Cleveland, his second year in LA. Baby. Not this season, the following season and the season after.
So don't judge this by next June. Judge it by the June after. Here's what's already true. The flaw is gone. Miami spent 6 years losing star sweepstakes, and this time they finally won one. They have one of the best players alive. What they don't have yet is everything around him, and whether Riley finishes a job with LeBron or without him is what decides if this is the smartest all-in in franchise history or the most expensive mistake. So tell me where you land. Is this the smartest all-in Pat Riley has ever made? Or did he just mortgage the next decade for a guy who could walk in a year? Drop in the comments. If you're rocking with the channel, hit the like and subscribe button.
Alright, buddy. So, you guys heard? You guys heard the man? We need LeBron. Cut. Who we gotta cut? Get them damn cookies back if we need to. Fire people who we got to fire. Like, whoever's beefing with LeBron down in Miami. Get him going. But I enjoyed this video. If anybody got any questions or, you feel me, videos you want me to watch, react to, send them. You know I will. But, yeah.